Hello and welcome to the P&L podcast. I am Pierre and he is the co-host L. Hello L.
Hi, my name's Elle.
So welcome to the show everybody, and today we would like to speak about anti-consumerism. Isn't it L?
Yeah, we're going to speak about anti-consumerism and how it's consuming our life altogether.
That's well said. Because indeed, the principle. So would you like to share actually with us in a few words what does it mean exactly?
Well, this is just from how I understand it. It's not blow by blow words from Wikipedia because I am not Wikipedia.
Of
So
course.
it's just that it's just a way of thinking, I think, in which a person doesn't participate in buying things due to the purpose of not participating in polluting the environment, or even participating in social stratification, which is a thing that I just learned like 5 minutes ago.
Oh
So,
wow, that's that's amazing.
from what I've understood about social stratification, is just you know classing people based on their wealth, like as what we know it, upper class, middle class, and lower class. So anti-consumerism is basically, I think, not buying things, consuming things due to ethical reasons, and also which is branching to our environment and also to what we consume, such as food and what our things are made of, and also to not participate in social stratification is how I understand it. Really. Wow, so many big words today.
Yeah,
Anyway.
indeed. Yeah, that sounds quite fantastic actually, because to me, well, for me, my understanding of anti-consumerism is a kind of a mindset.
It kind of is too.
Yeah, like you, it doesn't happen by default like this because of your education. Of course, for some people it might be easier to follow that kind of principle, if I can say, but it's also um, a wish you want to happen in your life. It's a bit like I am vegan, I am vegetarian, I want to have that diet. It doesn't, it doesn't happen somehow. It's a wish, and it's my own decision. And for me, anti-consumerism, like you don't want to have the big companies, the big corporations to win over, and you believe you have actually enough, you have enough goods, and you would especially prefer to buy good quality rather than quantity, and so you would buy just few things, but just what you need and only what you need, and not buying for buying. You wouldn't be trapped by those kind of Black Friday discounts and any other kind of discounts that insist the consumer to buy more and more often and more often. The same for the quality. Usually nowadays, everything becomes obsolete so often and so quickly, because we have to spend money, and the society wants us to spend more and more money for the economy. But what if we don't want? What if we just want to consume less because it's better for the planet as well? And obviously, anti-consumerism is nothing bad, because maybe the name might sound a little bit bad, for especially for businesses, because they believe, wow, then what if no one buys anything anymore? The economy will be just dead, and money wouldn't circulate anymore. Like circulate, you know, like money wouldn't move from people to other people. And indeed, that's important, and I agree it's quite important. But here, it's mostly from why to buy something if we don't need it, and why to buy more if actually what we have can also we can also use that thing for the same purpose. For instance, I have a simple example. Maybe it's not the best example, but it's what I have right now as an example. And you would have a pan, and it's actually a deep pan. You can fry things there. You know, you can stir some vegetables inside. You can boil rice inside. Why do I need a pot? Or the same, I have a rice cooker. Why? You know, sometimes we tend to be forced to buy more and more tools, especially kitchen tools. Like, you need a rice cooker, you need a microwave, you need 3 pots, you need 2 pans, because you need one deep pan, you need another pan, then you need a pan for pancakes, you need another one, then you need glasses, you need 1 glasses, you need glasses for water, you need glasses for beers, and then you buy more, but actually it's just a container. You don't need all of this. You can reuse the same, because it's it's just enough. The same for instance, if you I don't know if I have another example, but you would believe, oh, I just bought a house with 3 bedrooms. I need to buy 3 beds, even if I'm just alone in the house, because I believe, I have to fulfill my house with furnitures. And then you would go to a furniture shop, and there is like a 50% off for a new bed. And normally you don't need a bed, but you'd have the feeling, oh, it's now or never. It's actually a really good offer. I will buy it. But normally you don't need to buy this. And sometimes you go to a shop initially just to buy one thing, and you leave the shop with 5 or 10 items, and initially you just needed 1 item, and that's a problem.
Yeah. So basically, what inspired us to speak about it is it's about a Reddit post I saw on Reddit, and it speaks about how people who are workers
Mm-hmm.
are just being taken advantage of, because we actually are not going to become rich working a normal job. Because before it's possible, well, not rich, but more of like buying a house, it's possible on one salary, but now it's like it's impossible to do it. And to keep those for the lack of better term, to keep those like minimum wage workers to keep working is to just give them enough, and then that enough amount of money for them to be happy. They try to consume things, they try to buy from, let's say, I don't know, like sale of clothes and stuff like that. But really, it's just big corporations trying to mess with people. It's because, the money comes back to them, and then those people who are not really paid well, like minimum wage people, they try to work more, but actually what they're working for is never enough. And the cycle goes on and on and on. It's like, okay, I have my salary. As a reward, I will buy this little thing for me. But really, it's just setting workers for failure.
It creates a cycle, and it creates a new way to see society. And no one, no one decided, let's do it. Like, over time, big corporations just build this kind of movement, of society movement, where this kind of setup has been normalized nowadays, and nowadays people don't even question that kind of economy. I don't say it's bad, but the way it is actually right now, I believe it is bad. Initially, it was probably not. Well, the intention was probably not bad. That's what I meant at the first place. But over time, and because nowadays it's normalized, kind of, and all big companies do it, and first it's just like, oh yeah, let's do this and then this and now it's just the way how we consume things, and people just keep buying rubbish quality. Um, it's just not good because you would keep buying new things, new items, and you will actually support those kind of working class people with minimum wage, and they will never be able to, at least not directly, be able to buy a house or having a decent life. That's what you meant, Elle, I believe.
Yeah, like, it's like setting everybody for failure. And also it's like...
But for failure, can you just explain a little bit, like, with more details? What do you mean exactly by failure?
Yeah, like it's just an endless cycle. Let's just say me. I work minimum wage. I get, I don't know, 800 per fortnight. And it's like, it's enough to pay rent. It's enough to buy me food. But what's left, it's like...
yeah.
But what's left, it's like, okay, I have a little amount of savings. Maybe I'll just buy this little shirt, just a reward for myself. And then, I actually give my money back to those big corporations, and they're the only ones who's getting richer.
Yeah, and you are just getting poorer and poorer.
And I'm consuming. And is it good for me? It's not.
I see exactly what you mean. So you are the one trapped, and then your little savings you have left, you give back to those big corporations, and so you will be always poor. You will always be with in the same life standard, so you will not be able to get a better chance to have a different perception of what kind of lifestyle you could get, and you will just give back always your savings and so on to the big corporations by buying little rewards. You say, oh,
little rewards that I think
a nice
that I
shirt,
deserve.
and you instead you should consume less, so not having that kind of setup we are living right now, where like anyone should, like anyone feel, oh, it's a good offer, it's a decent price, but you always give back your money there instead of being able to save money, and it's bad for the environment too.
Yeah, and also it's like, it's really bad how businesses who are like who are not depending on, more of like using the human instinct to just buy things, like, or try to, for human instinct to become better. It's like, oh, yeah, you have this yoga mat like you have been using for years, and corporations would say, hey, why are you still using that plastic yoga mat? Switch to our bamboo mat made from environmentally friendly product, biodegradable, stuff like that. They encourage you to do better, quotation mark, but really, if you buy that new yoga mat, you're just consuming more, adding more trash to the planet. It's because you're throwing the plastic one that actually is working pretty well for you and is actually not broken. And it's these businesses, big corporations, that make you feel guilty. And also they try to entice you, like sales, this and that, And it's like, it's really hard because, with what's happening, like, you can never dream of normal people like me probably is never going to dream big because, for sure I won't have a house in my lifetime because it's so hard. And then I'm trapped in this in the cycle of consuming just to feel something, you know, and it's really hard. It is so hard. And sometimes, this is not me, but sometimes some people want to seem to be of a certain social status, in which I've spoken about social stratification and stuff like that, and how we want to look like we're in a certain class. We want to look richer. We want to look like, you know, and then we started to think, oh, actually, buying Dior is good. Buying, oh my God, I'm name dropping big companies. Okay, I'm sorry. No, for legal purposes, I didn't say that. But yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear anything. Don't worry.
Yeah, but you know, like pretending to be, I don't know, buying more things just to show them off to people. Like, it's basically a trap, you know, like they brainwash you into thinking that, yeah, do this, buy from us, just like that, you consume more. And actually, I am also a bit trapped in that situation like that, you know? And it's really hard because they just take advantage of the human nature, which is overall really bad for our environment, bad for our self-esteem.
Self-esteem?
As well, because they make you think, oh, if you're not wearing this
they
brand,
make
then
you feeling guilty, or
no, more not guilty, more
or
about
not part of that tribe. I mean, that kind of
like
group.
you don't belong with us because you don't wear this and that. You know, it's like, and so I think that's why anti-consumerism is I'm not sure if it's a new thing or not. Well, I just like heard about it like 8 years ago and stuff like that. So I think it's just a movement about just not buying anything at all. If you absolutely don't need to buy that thing, it's because it is just so much better. I know it's really hard, especially when you feel the need to, like, let's say you, as what you mentioned, you have a house, you feel the need to fill it up, but then you don't actually need it. It's like, it's really hard, but you know, there are groups out there on the internet where you can have a look and then find inspiration, because actually they actually have decent and really good advices on how to be more leaning towards anti-consumerism. Well, with food, that's fine, but maybe with luxury food, you know, it's
it's the same.
It's the same. It's like, you know, like, you think, oh, I had this steak. Wow, this steak that is being fed with God knows what, and then I need to buy this, you know, because I want to feel like, you know, I want to feel like the celebrities eating these kind of food. But really, shouldn't we look about how it was taken, maybe? Like are the conditions from which, let's just say, an animal was butchered, or where the meat came from, was the conditions good? It's like, you know, it's just these things you can think about.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And so many factors, actually. It's not because the way they will sell the items, the food, whatsoever, they will just sell by promoting the good part, but there is always a hidden part you don't know about. And that hidden part is usually quite dark and not really good. Once you know it, you feel also a bit betrayed. And same for food. Well, sometimes you buy way too much food because there's a discount, because there are some sales, or hey, buy 1 + 1 + 1 for free, or whatsoever. And then you ended up wasting food because it's too much. And so you just throw that food away.
Yeah, that's true. Now that I think about it, when you don't use big words about anti-consumerism, stuff like that, and you say, it's basically like, if you don't buy it, and if you still have it, if it still works, don't buy it. It's basically like the gist of it. Like, you don't actually need it, so don't buy it. You know, Black Friday sale is a scam.
Yeah, because you believe, wow, it's so cheap, I have to buy it because otherwise I will miss something. Especially after, if you hear your colleagues or friends or other, you know, like some members of your family who bought it and say, wow, they bought it, they were smart, I feel silly to not buy it. But if you don't need it, or if you question yourself, should I buy it or not? If it's not obvious, it means maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah, and the fact that you spend X amount of money is actually not saving. It's because you don't need it, and then you buy it just because you thought it's a good saving, but actually no, you didn't need it in the first place. So why are you buying it?
That's right. At the first place, if there was no sales, you wouldn't have bought it. And now you just bought it because of the sales, so you believe it's smart, but actually you spent more money because normally that money you wouldn't have spent it, even if it's half price.
I know. And it's basically adding things in the junk of piles that we own, which are probably, when we are old and senile, is going to be thrown in God knows where. And, it's just going back to the environment, and it's just polluting.
It will pollute, indeed.
I know. Like, so many things are being affected with consuming.
Yeah, indeed.
Sometimes I think, wow, we are parasites of the earth.
Yeah, in a way, you're right.
And it's just so bleak and sad. Anyway.
Do you know, you were speaking about links earlier, where we can get more information about it on the internet. Do you have any websites in mind?
Well, the first site that I found, Anti-Consumerism, is in Reddit. There's a subreddit devoted to anti-consumerism. So maybe if you'd like to check it out, for sure you could see some insights and some advices in Reddit, for sure, because it's like a forum, like everybody knows Reddit. So you can have a look with online articles as well. So you can just look it up on Google, really, because it's the era of the internet now. So yeah, like those things are really helpful to get you started. You don't have to start with those. You don't have to start big. You just have to learn a bit and then start small.
To be more aware of.
Yeah.
First, be aware of anti-consumerism. Second,
try to find ways. Yes, try to find ways and how to do it, because really, it's us that is getting screwed over in the end.
Yeah, and we are just like we just follow. We believe, oh yeah, it's normal, and then I will just have like $50 left on my bank account, and I will spend again a T-shirt from a big retail store, and boom, you just give back again to, instead of being able to save more money to build a better life and to build the life you always wanted. At the end, you just buy items that are actually just been accumulated in your house, and then you have more and more, and the more things you have in your house, well, you will definitely not feel happier. Instead of maybe saving money, and maybe probably life experience are always better than owning things. And I believe for you, is there any link with minimalism?
Actually, I was thinking about that, like about minimalism. Like, what is the point of minimalism? It's owning less. Similar, but I'm not really. I haven't really formed. Like, you're a minimalist, so maybe you can explain a bit more about that and how it is linked.
I believe
actually,
there are a lot of different mindsets of what is being minimalist. But basically, minimalist. Well, in my case, I normally should wear. I used to. Now I got a few more, but I used to have only 3 shirts. That's it. 3 shirts, 3 pants, and 10 underwears in total. And my whole life could just be in a backpack. And you feel so free, first of all. Second, why you should own things, why you should buy things. In your house, you should see supermarkets, stores, as your warehouse. So you don't store your items in your house. When you go to the supermarket, don't say, oh, I will buy this just in case I need it. No, if you need it, just go to the supermarket and buy it. Nowadays, we can buy items so easily. Basically, the supermarket is your storage area, not your house. You shouldn't use your house as a storage room. It's a supermarket. If you really need it, you can buy it, but don't buy it just in case. And have only one item really good quality, not too bad quality. So just have one. Like if you have 2 pairs of scissors, just get rid of one, give it to your neighbor, to your family, if they need a pair of scissors. But for you, just keep 1 pair of scissors, the best quality, the better one, and the other one you just say goodbye. And the less thing you have, the freer you will feel, not only in your life, not only when you clean your house, but also in your mind. Because sometimes, you are looking for something, an item, maybe a shirt. You want to wear a shirt and you have 20 shirts in your closet. It will take so much time. You don't find it. It will add space in your head. You will think, where is that clothes? Why I cannot find my shorts? Why I cannot find my t-shirt? I had it. When you just have 2 t-shirts, well, you just have 2. It's easy. And the same for a pen. Why you should have 10 pens or 10 pencils? Just one. And if it doesn't work anymore, you will just go to the store or to your local store, and then you will buy another pen. That's it. Don't buy more than what you need. And this is how I apply. This is how I apply minimalism. It's the same. So it's not only how you wear. Like in my case, I don't like to make decisions because my life is already quite complex. So that's why the fact of me, since I started for already a really long time ago, since I started to become quite minimalist, it's also to free up the spaces in my head. I'm also vegetarian, so when I go to a restaurant, it's really easy because usually they have 1 or 2 options for vegetarian, so I don't have to think too much. That's also part of my lifestyle and how I wanted to design my life of being minimalist. And then finally, have always less and always think how I can remove something in my house instead of adding something. And if you really want to buy like a new pens, then you should sell or you should get rid of one pens before to buy a new one. So always think, okay, I want to buy something new, a new item, but before to introduce a new item in my house, I should get rid of one previous item. That has to be like a rule, and you will believe me, but you will see the less things you have, so the freer you will feel, the better you will feel because you have almost nothing. And then you will just be able, freer. It's not only in your mind, but also if you have to move to a different place, to a different apartment, to a different house, but also to a different country, well, it will be so easy to move because, when you don't have a lot of items, you don't have, like if you have so much items, you have to spend so much time on those kind of marketplace to sell out your furnitures, your clothes, but also you have to empty your place, and that takes so much time. So when you are minimalist, you save also a lot of time, not only by cleaning your house. Obviously, when you have just a minimum, you definitely save a lot of time by cleaning, but you will see when you are cleaning it. But you will see when you are just inside of your house, for everything. Like I'm looking for an item somewhere, not only in my closet. I was speaking about my clothes, but maybe it can be in your cupboard. It can be, I'm looking for a book. If I just have a Kindle, so only ebooks, it's much easier. Just type the name of the book and that's it. And finally, on my phone, you can also be minimalist on your mobile phone by having only the apps you are using and not so much apps, and because it will take time also to look which app to use, and then when you need to free some space because you need to create some like your storage is just out of memory, so you need to free some storage on your phone. If you just have 4 or 5 or 10 apps max, it will be much easier to see which one you don't use. All right, so that was about minimalism. Elle, do you have anything else to add about anti-consumerism? Okay, we should consume less. We should be less.
Should be conscious about.
We should be conscious indeed.
What we buy. I think the main difference about anti-consumerism and minimalism is more about owning less. It's nothing about buying or stuff like that. It's more about owning less and letting go of things that, well, according to a really famous saying, that doesn't spark joy in your life.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
right.
And I think anti-consumerism is just, stopping to buy things that we think that we need, but actually we don't. So that's my giant takeaway in everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What other advice? Do you have any pieces of advice you would like to share?
Well, I am I'm not the best person you can ask advice because I think I am still in the still trapped in this phase of my life where I consume too much. And to be honest with you, I don't really consume as much as those people you see having a haul and making videos out of it. I'm not I'm not calling them out, but it's like, it's just too much. And in the end, it's just too much, especially for one person, So, I'm not a good person to do. But yeah, my go-to advice would be add it to cart, but actually don't save your credit card in your phone. It just gives a fake feeling that you actually bought it, but no, you didn't. And that's good. It's good for a first step for addicted people.
And I think also, speaking about the way we pay, when we pay by cash, we have more the feeling we pay because we remove some notes, some bills from our wallet, and we really see, okay, I pay for it. But when you pay contactless with your phone, your watch, you don't really have the feeling you pay. So you don't have the feeling you consume more. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You consume more.
Do you think that's one of the do you think that's one of the ploy of
maybe?
Oh my God. Is this like tinfoil hat moment?
Paying by cash, you really have the feeling, okay, I spent money.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, I worked for like 4 hours for this to buy this. Is it really worth it? Like,
back in the time, and I know in some countries, especially in some Asian countries, you get your salary by cash. And
really?
Yeah, in some countries, they are still doing it, especially in hospitality. And so you receive your salary by cash, with a lot of notes, a lot of bills, and then you spend everything by cash too. So you really have the feeling, okay, I receive this, I spend that, And the same, I was thinking of, sometimes it's better to rent something. It's better to buy second hand than buying fully priced a brand new thing. Because when you buy something second hand, it will give a second or a third life or even a fourth life to the same item. If everybody buys brand new, it will make everything worse too. second hand. I really like those kind of marketplace where you just buy something. It has been used already, but what's wrong with that? If you see what I mean. And then renting, sometimes why do you need a car, a brand new car, the same? And I'm thinking of, some people have 3 or 4 cars. Definitely alone by themselves, they don't need 4 cars. The same for shoes, actually. For 4 pairs of shoes, okay, 2, because it has different purposes, but it's the same, And people with cars, they will say, yes, this car is more like a fancy car. It's my Porsche. I don't use it every day. And then I need the other car, which is like more a range. I don't know what kind of car could it be. Range Rover, or like more a sport car. And then I have my Mini because it's more for the city. But no, a car is just it's a tool actually to help you to move from point A to point B. As simple as this.
Yeah. And they should actually make public transport better.
Mm-hmm.
Although in Australia, especially here in Sydney, I feel like it's already better, especially compared to my home country. But sometimes you're just unable to, which is really like a bit frustrating to those people,
Indeed. I know in some cities, public transport, at least in the downtown, so in the CBD, like in the city center, it's free, and I think that's a really good thing, because it will also help to consume less and to maybe. Well, actually, even consume maybe more too, because people might be more prone to go to the city center to buy more things. Could be for restaurants and food. There are pros and cons.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to have free public transport. But that's not the point of our conversation anyway.
Yeah.
It's always hard to see. That's why statistics are good, because it's hard to see like free public transport. People would buy also online too. And nowadays the problem, a lot of people, they buy online, they don't like it, they will send it back. And so I think it's also part of, it's against anti-consumerism.
Yeah.
Because you buy a thing, you don't like it, you will send back, and to just make,
transportation.
You wasted time. The item, it's also, a new envelope, a new parcel, the transportation for sending that to ship that item to your house, and then you send back. There's no point for this.
Yeah.
No good point, I would say. Obviously, it's when you buy online, you never know. But some people just do it for so many items. They don't know which one to choose, so they would buy 3 or 4 different shirts. Like I know my sister does this. She buys 4 different kind of shirts from Amazon, for instance, or from a different big online shopping store. And she knows she will just get one, but she take all of them and all of the different sizes. She tries, and then she will send all of them, or she will just keep one, and that's definitely not something not good in the long term.
Yeah, that's true, indeed.
Do you have anything else to add on this topic, Elle?
I think I'm not deeply educated with regards to anti-consumerism, but it's good to those people who are listening. This could be your gateway to more money, I guess.
Oh yeah,
for
sure.
For you to consume less, to stop
then
buying.
To invest better your money instead of spending your money in goods. Invest your money
somewhere else
smartly,
better.
Yeah, in a smart way.
Anyway, that's my 10 cents for everything.
Beautiful. I think I said everything for me.
Yeah. Well, It's been a good talk, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, it has been a really good talk, Elle. I will see you in another episode anyway, Elle. And we wish you all the best in your new way of seeing the reality of life.
Yeah.
I would say.
I hope you've seen a different perspective.
A different perspective, exactly. Goodbye.
Ciao.
Ciao. I like it. Like nowadays, we say ciao. Next time, let's say au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.